Yeah.
I'm a man.
It's 12:30.
12:30 out this beer.
Talk black to me.
Talk black to me. Yo, happy belated to Clico. Happy born day to International P. You know what I'm saying?
National.
Big up yourself to the Leos. You know what I'm saying? Out here.
Ouch.
Shout out to the Leos.
Let me see who's in the chat right now.
Oh my God.
Peace, family. Peace. Who we got in the chat right now? We got Alex Little, Miss Tiffany.
It's good. Shout out to the chat room.
Empress
It's been a minute.
B444.
Empress B444.
Empress B444.
Yo, how's the audio, family? Let me know how the audio is. I got them on the wireless mic, so let me know. Let me know
that
how.
thumbs up.
Let me know how
Let's
the
go with that
audio is.
audio.
Let me know how the audio is, family.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm good. All right.
Gucci
They
first?
said clear, you solid, great. Audio on point.
It is.
They said shout out to the Pillar Scorpios. Yo, before we start, you know the greatest time in the world is about to come around? Virgo season.
That Virgo season.
That Virgo
son.
season. The greatest time in the world is about to come back around.
Shout out to the Virgos.
God had to be a Virgo or something.
Y'all, you know, y'all special.
Wasn't Jesus a Virgo or something? What's it?
Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary.
Yeah, his mama.
And the person after Jesus, who was the most famous person on the face of the earth, Michael Jackson.
Michael
what
Jackson.
Was he?
August 29th.
What was
a
he?
Virgo.
He was a Virgo.
Shout
and
out
the
to the
female
Virgos.
version of Michael Jackson.
Beyonce.
What was she?
No, she is a Virgo.
Damn, case closed, man. Shout out to the Virgos, man.
And my daughter.
And you do
Yeah, shout out to Bella. Shout out to Bella. I got special Virgos in my life, so.
I got special Virgos in my life.
Yeah, the Virgos.
It's our
Virgos
time.
is all the way live.
It's our time.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Virgos. I don't know what we would do without y'all because Virgo represents health. You know what I'm saying?
Virgo represents help too. Thank you for being a help and preparing us Scorpions because we come right after that, right?
No, it's Libra.
It's Libra. That's
in
my
the balance.
son. And then
That's my pops.
It's my
Yeah.
pops.
And then it's Scorpio.
And then the Scorpio. So, you know, the Virgos are a very, very integral piece of the puzzle. Shout out to the Virgos. Y'all Virgos are special. Y'all really, you know, Virgos and Scorpio work well together. All of my breakthroughs, you know, or the majority of them, I've accomplished with Virgos. I fuck with Virgos. Shout out to Black Dot. Black Dot is a Virgo.
Yeah. Ain't my guy KB the Virgo too?
KB, of course.
Ghetto Shaman.
World
so
famous.
A lot of people who we've worked with and have been instrumental with pushing us into our greatness. Brother Rich, Black Dot, KB I'm about to say KB the arts degree.
KB the Ghetto Shaman.
You know what I mean? My daughter, you know, Beyonce.
Yo.
What's your son, Red? Your son?
Scorpio.
Amin's a Scorpio?
Scorpio King.
Yeah, he's a Scorpio King.
Damn. And KT's a Scorpio.
KT's a
So
Scorpio.
man, Scorpion pills.
AA Scorpio.
Man of the pills is Scorpios.
Just Be Scorpio. It's a lot of them, but shout out. We in Leo season right now. Shout out to Clico. Shout out to International P. It's his born day today. Who else did I miss? Shout out my dude Michael Cope. His born day. Kwame, his joint was the other day. This is mad Leos, yo. I know I'm missing some instrumental Leos. I just see my dude on live the other day. Shout out to Dr. Umar.
With the new haircut.
So we gonna let's get to these brothers and sisters with these magnificent businesses that they're promoting on my channel. I want the family to check them out. Show support. I'm gonna let the room fill up. I know it's a little late tonight, family, but it's gonna be an episode you don't want to miss. All right, family. We'll be right back.
Yes, indeed. Let's run them commercials. Peace, love, and light to the family. Y'all still up at this time? Okay. All right. Shout out to y'all. Y'all winning. Shout out to the chat.
Oh my God. remember when life was better. I remember like I've been alive forever. I remember being born in abundance you'll never measure. Predecessor from the epicenter, the genetic mecca. I'm a representative of the metal netter. You dead if you never met her. The devil, he never better. I protect the treasure, then the presence center. Kemet was never desert. Do the rain dance, make the weather wetter. A crown is a head antenna. Call me Imhotep, the architect. I'm clever. Break a temple down and put it back together. I remember I was royalty. From the soil where the oil be. Never let the bigger man in me grow from the little boy in me. Been a victim of my loyalty. Let my ego kill the joy in me. That's what ended up destroying me. I forgot the Lord anointed me. I forgot that I was God. I forgot that I was free. I forgot that I was king of the jungle until I remembered I'm...
Alright, we back, family. Let me put everybody's mic on. And
I remember I was God. I remember I was free. What's the name of that joint? People in the chat want to know.
King of the Jungle.
King of the Jungle. Off of that Holy Ghost 2. Alright? And you can find the Holy Ghost 2 on where?
Cambatta.
No. Black Magic Music.
Black Magic Music.
Yeah, make sure y'all buy that album. Thanks for all the support our last live stream. Y'all showed a lot of love. Listen, before we get started, family, I want to call Dr. Valentine. He had an important message for the family.
Happy belated.
Let me get him on here real quick.
Well, he a Virgo or Libra?
Who, Dr. Valentine?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think he a Libra.
Yeah, I know he's not a Virgo. I know that. He's definitely.
Yeah.
Libra?
I think he got an October birthday or something like that.
Yo.
Dr. Valentine.
Yo.
Dr. Valentine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you are live now, my brother. I'm live on YouTube with Red and Blue Pill. And we said before we get started, we had to call the good doctor real quick because he had an important message for the family. So I'm going to give you this opportunity to share the message with the family real quick, my brother.
Well, I'll give thanks for that. Just want to let the family know, first of all, to thank everyone who had joined us on Sunday. We put down a very powerful webinar for those who did witness. And the first thing we wanted to do was to apologize for those who couldn't get in. At the time, and this is no excuse, we're just giving you what the deals were. At the time, our administrative staff, we did not have them with us. So it was a mom and pop situation, and we forgot to raise the ceiling or raise the capacity for people to come in. That was the one oversight we had. So what we wanted to do was to reassure everyone that it will be taken care of. And I have my wife, Dr. Nalani, here, who actually is the one to work with the administrators, but she was kind of overbearing. She had a lot to do at that time, and there was just a sort oversight on both our parts. Here's what everybody, she's going to tell everybody to be prepared for.
Hey, family. So this is what has happened. First of all, once again, we really apologized. And the other thing is that the reason that it's a time issue is because it was such a long webinar. It took a long time to populate. When I do a half-hour webinar that I do every week, it takes hours for it before it's available as a recording. So this was a 6+ hour situation, and it took, I don't know how long. So the next day, which was today, we were finally informed that it was ready, and we were able to have access to it. Now, we were only able to download it or to send it by an email, which is not what we wanted to do, because we have those who have paid for it already and who were not able to view it. And we wanted them to be able to view it, as well as others to have access to it by pay-per-view. And our webmaster told us to get the embed code. And so we had to get access to the embed code, which we I don't even know if they have it yet. They might have it tonight. She will work on it tomorrow, and that is why we were asking for patience for a couple of days or a few days until we are able to have it up and on the site so people can view it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so everyone, thank you, Mama. Just want to get the family to know again that the webinar itself is a powerful webinar. We were dropping stuff about Epstein. I know that Red and Blue is of the same mind that we know he's not dead. In fact, we found out in Germany that there was the transport of him, that people who are on ham radios picked up signals that he is supposed to be in Germany right now, and that he's under heavy guard, that the person that they have, that they have, or the cadaver that they have of him is not him. The nose structures, the ear structures, his face features, they don't match who he really was. So, yeah, we all know that it's all... I'm sorry?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so just hang in there. We have a lot of updates that we want to make. Maybe we can have another show later on down the line. I have some good information on that as well. But beyond that, this main thing is that we wanted to first again apologize and let everybody ask everybody for just a little bit of patience. We will make an announcement when it's ready, and then everyone that has paid before can view it. And those who would want to participate, there will be online to stream pay-per-view indefinitely. So that being said, I want to thank you, Brother Rich, and for giving us a little access to the family. Let them know that what happened was not intentional. It was just a slight oversight on our part because it didn't happen the last time. The first one, if you remember, we did raise the ceiling. This second one, again, because we had the overload or the heavy load to do by ourselves, we did not... it was an oversight on our part. That being said, Red, Blue, Brother Rich, much love to you all and to the family. And again, brothers, thank you again for the access.
No problem. Anytime, Dr. Valentine. Yeah, I definitely got to hear more of that Germany situation, man. I know you dropped it. So I'm glad.
Brother, you have no idea what I know right now. I wish I had some time. I could speak with you. Maybe we could do something later on, maybe a couple of days from now. But the stuff that I got now, it just happened, and it just got dropped on me. And of course, you can go up on the web, go on the internet, and go in the dark web. The dark web got all the information.
Okay.
But but again, like I said, there's a lot happening. He ain't dead. It was a perfect way of speeding up the process because all of the people like Clinton. Now you're going to see Clinton and the rest of them. They're going to start playing like they're sick. Oh, he's ailing, and the Clintons are ailing, and everything. Everybody's going to start, copping out, saying they got problems with their health. They may even do suicide. We don't know. But the deal is that if Epstein wasn't taken out, that would have delayed it because his lawyers would have said, I want an extension, and that would have delayed the process and made the deep state prepare for their own exits. So when him taken out, or pretended to be taken out, now he's out the way, they can go directly to them, to the ones that he would have implicated. So it's fast-tracking everything. But like I said, after the 15th, it's going to get real heavy up in the apple out there. New York, all across the world right now, you're going to see all kind of panicking happen from these bastards who are actually stealing and killing and eating and drinking the blood of children. All of these bastards are going to get outed. You watch it.
Well, I definitely, I'm going to give you a call soon, brother, because I got to get you back on. But I appreciate you for your time, and I appreciate you for the information that you're giving to the people, my brother. And I'm going to talk to you soon.
Much love to y'all, brothers.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, that was the great Dr. Phil Valentine. Let me turn Red and Blue mics back on.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that was Dr. Valentine. Make sure y'all check out his webinar.
Shout out to the doc.
Yeah, everything he got going on. Oh, man, I mean, we got a long show, but do y'all want to touch on any of that real quick, the Epstein, before we get into the show? I know you just did the, Red, what you just did? You just did In Too Deep, too?
Yeah, I'm doing another one on Sunday, on the 18th. I'm doing In Too Deep 2. This segment is going to be White Supremacy Decoded. and we're gonna tie in, you know, a lot of research that I've uncovered ever since I did Into Deep, and it's gonna touch on just demystifying, decoding, and breaking down this term, the ideology, and, you know, tie in all of these things, you know, into one basically one throughway. So yeah.
And yet, you know, yet another prediction or hot button. How long have we been talking about Epstein, bro? You feel me? How long?
Very long time.
Very long. You know what I'm saying? So just another one of those situations where, you know what I'm saying, the narrative seemed to be light years ahead of itself, and now the world is catching up. But like Valentine was saying, this uncovers an even deeper, more sinister scheme. You know what I'm saying? And the rabbit hole definitely.
The rabbit hole.
It goes to China. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so
I will not allow this story to be buried and glossed over and just passed on, because he was the Kaiser Sose to a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, he was definitely one of the key figures and key players who was the glue, who could tie in so many nefarious characters that many of us have been spending a lot of time over the years turning the lights on.
Yeah,
so we got some dumps, we got information, we got a whole lot of dumps.
We said this the other day, you know, why would we have a vested interest in this conversation? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of murky details. These are normally waters that people don't want to go into. But at the same time, our people are gearing up for the upcoming election cycle, and they're gonna get divided into this gangbanger mentality of red versus blue, progressive versus liberal, conservative versus liberal. So all of this BS, all of these traps, they're gonna have all of these melanated women talking all aggressive on the media outlets.
You talking about Angela Rye?
Kamala
not even
Harris
just the commentators, let alone the people that people are invested in, that are actually running, right, the face of these criminal organizations. I don't give two shits about your politics. You're not gonna blame us for Trump getting another term, or
like they did
Hillary or Kamala or whoever finishing or losing. It's all BS as a facade. You know what I'm saying? Why are we not having a larger conversation about where this planet is at galactically? Like, what are we going on? What's going on this planet that is being overrun by the satanic, nefarious energy? And like we said on the live yesterday, you know, I don't want to disrespect the good demons out there that you guys worship and deal with. This is not about the good demons or the good Satan that you guys fuck with. This is about the other Satan that you guys don't, you know. This is not about good Satan.
I never heard of that.
This is about bad Satan, okay?
Who's that?
You know, in this community, the niggas is dealing with the demons and the good Satan, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Satan that wears the bow tie and shit, you know, upright Satan, not upright, Satan on all fours. This other nigga, this nigga at the bottomless pit, right? Not the nigga that, you know.
So it's like, with our people, because they've been, you know, indoctrinated to think that they're fighting crime or they're fighting white supremacy by pulling a lever. Oh, my ancestors died so I could vote. And they think that that's their revolutionary act. They feel like if they show up to the polls, that's the only thing, that's the only heavy lifting that they have to do. It's the only requirement that they have to do.
If you debunk Trump, you could go back to sleep. That's your reward.
So everybody,
your soul has been tasked so much by having to deal with this nonstop drama that you think that you're gonna actually have an opportunity to take your foot off the lever heading into 2020.
Not realizing and not acknowledging the fact that all of this is written, all of this is prophesized, all of this is supposed to happen. So because of the fear-based, you know, and the quote-unquote spin in the Hegelian dialect that many people have subscribed to, they are now painting Donald Trump as the face or the only one who is the who perpetuates white supremacy. So if we defeat him, then white supremacy goes away. We get to live our rainbow lives together, holding hands, and we get to live out Kamala Harris's dream or something. or Joe Biden's, his vision. No.
You know what's crazy? People are actually mad that Trump is going. He keeps going at the FBI, and the report just came out. The FBI said that we was the #1 target. Black people who, what they said, black identity.
Well, they read because of the outcry and because people were throwing that term away. Like, can you describe what this actually means?
Yeah.
They had to do away with black identity extremists. That is no longer the designation. That is no longer the technical term that they're identifying. They brought out a more broader term.
What? What is that?
It is the Homeland Radicalized Extremists. Okay? The Homeland Radicalized Extremists. I might be off by a term or two, but they're basically trying to designate the radicalization of individuals that are home based or in the homeland as extremists. Right. So if you're getting downloads, let's just keep it a buck. If they banned Tariq Nasheed from going to the UK, okay, and they said that the documentary was insensitive, it was inflammatory. Right. That's what they talking about. Like, we don't gotta play with this anymore. That's what they're saying. They're saying that black people waking up. Right? Because it's not about really the violence, but I spoke on my show about Gavin Long, Say Their Names, and Mika Johnson. Those were the people, those were the gunmen who martyred, not murdered, they martyred Mike Brown.
Red Pill's afro is off the camera. Let me fix that.
Yeah, please bring the fro back. Let's not lose that. You know what I'm talking about? But they martyred people who were identifying as victims. And as a result of their actions and as a result of their ideology, they now cast a humongous web over the quote-unquote black community. 99% passive, won't bust a grape in a fruit fight, ain't looking for no smoke. It's a non-smoking section over there with the woke folk. You know what I'm talking about? They don't want to hurt nothing except people's feelings on Twitter. Mm-hmm. But the government has deemed this small group as the most dangerous, the most nefarious.
Public enemy #1.
Public enemy #1.
So I don't want to hear about your politics. I don't want to hear about your candidate. I don't want to hear about your congressman. I don't want to hear about your local politician. I don't want to hear about
local ones? Damn.
Not even local ones.
Shit,
if you can't find a way to petition the people who supposedly or allegedly represent you to call BS when you smell and see BS. The fact that you got all of these white boys running up in all of these institutions, all of these public places, murdering people in the multitudes, and you have not yet heard any public federal government official call that shit domestic terrorism. Day one, the fact that you live in a country, right? This is supposed to be allegedly supposed to be a Christian country, but this country has yet, not to this day, declared war on satanic factions. They know where to find them. Their numbers is in the phone book. You know what I'm saying? They shit is listed online. Why they not smoking out the people who's the real enemy of Christ, but then they want to tell you about the Muslims. They want to tell you these people don't like us, so those people don't like us. What about the Satanists?
They on
what
4chan.
about the white extremists?
Yeah, they're on 4chan.
What about the domestic
8chan.
terrorists? What about the ones that's racking up the body and causing terror to the country?
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying? Why are you ignoring this? And you're trying to divert the attention towards some people who are angry, who don't have an outlet, you understand, to express that anger. But just the fact that you're saying, oh nigga, you got the nerve to be getting up, get the fuck.
No, they're saying that the threat is so severe because of the possibility of niggas retaliating. You understand? Yeah. They're saying that they're putting black people at the top because of the fact that they're being terrorized, and there just may be a chance that they might buck back. They might want to smoke.
Ain't that some shit?
Your screen got, because it looks like colors on it.
So
it's back to what we always say, right? You are bearing witness to white fragility. right?
Inferiority.
White inferiority. Why you niggas is so petrified and fearful and scared, right? These people might have you beat. You dig what I'm saying? And what they're saying is, look, we can't take any chances because we know something about our time clock that you niggas fail to remember in all of the theology of time that your ancestors and your predecessors came and told you about. Our time is up, right? And one of you niggas might remember that. One of you niggas might dust one of them books off. You feel me?
Wow.
And press the fucking button. So guess what? We're going to press the gas on you niggas and keep you in a perpetual state of fear at all time. We don't want no back talk. We don't want no backlit.
And
right?
what's being pressed is counterintelligence. If anybody knows what that means, counterintelligence, that's COINTELPRO 2.0. That means that we're going to remember what the feds do. This is the feds we're talking about. The same feds that J. Edgar Hoover, aka Mary, that was his cross-dresser's name when he put the blouse and skirt on, they called him Mary.
That's real?
His name was Mary. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's real.
This is what Mary J. Edgar Hoover said, that Marcus Garvey and the UNIA around the time of Scarface, around the time of Lucky Luciano, around the time of Prohibition, around the time of the Sicilian Mafia, right around the time of Operation Underworld. That's when the CIA and the US government got in bed with the Sicilian Mafia to take care of Mussolini and the fascists during World War II. But after World War II, the Mafia was now part of another wing of the American government.
Intelligence.
Okay? Intelligence.
Right.
All right? So J. Edgar Hoover was saying in 1930, with all of the crime going on, with all of the killers going on, the KKK was on the rise. Jim Crow was still popping. Brothers and sisters were being hung. They had the aftermath of the Red Summer, the aftermath of Black Wall Street. They did not designate the white supremacists as a threat. They was focusing on Garvey, and after that, in the 60s and the 70s, they annihilated and they basically they broke the backs of the movement because they killed off the leaders. They fingerprints, either the CIA or the Mafia's fingerprints were on the assassination of JFK, MLK, Robert Kennedy,
Mega Evans.
Overseas with Lumumba, right?
Right. They were cleaning
up through that whole time while they had our people looking this way. They were out there doing counterintelligence, bodying niggas. So what I'm saying is this: you have to take what these reports are saying with a grain of salt. You don't give it that kind of fear energy, but we need those amongst us who are the researchers, who are the quote-unquote lawyers, who have the pen, because the pen is mightier than a sword when you're dealing with these paper gangsters, because on paper, they are pushing the paper to say we have the right to drone you niggas on YouTube.
Right, because like I said, when you really get back to it, when you look at all of these situations that we're supposed to walk away with, even with Nipsey, I said, this is a learning moment, right?
Nipsey's at the finish line, he waiting.
Right, this is a learning moment. So what do we walk away with? We find out that, the world is really based on black and white, right? And the black and white is that paperwork.
Okay.
That paperwork is more important than anything. You feel me? So the fact that they're designating you, whatever they're designating you, you're supposed to counter that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You're supposed to flood them with a torrent of paperwork that counters that claim. Because it's a claim that if it goes unchallenged,
it's a wrap. Can I add on?
Hold on. And at the time when their sheets are being lifted, they need something to take the attention off of them. So the same way the mob had files on J. Edgar Hoover, right?
They were blackmailing
They was blackmailing him because of his cross-dressing ways. So we're trying to explain to you, right, this is the same thing that's going on with Epstein. Epstein is third, fourth generation, what all of these intelligence agencies have done in this country. You know what I'm saying? They use blackmail and they use other coercive measures to make intelligence figures and people that are head of administrations such as the Federal Bureau do what they want. Richard Bard, he's no different. So Mueller before him was the first one. He jumped out with BIE. Now Barr's in charge. Barr's gonna take all of his marching orders from, you know what I'm saying, who's up at the top, telling him, look, we need to keep this attention off of us. We need to get people to stop talking about child trafficking, sex trafficking, organ harvesting. You dig what I'm saying? We need to put the fear back in the hearts of white America and have them think that these big black people are the threat. So when we start droning niggas, you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this is what counterintelligence means. You have to, the term is, we're countering your intelligence. So I have the file already. It came out about 2016 or 17. It's an Army document. In the Army document, it predates the BIE designation. This is where they got it from. They got it from they got it from the Army report, and they also got it from a report that the law enforcement put out after the Mika Johnson and Gavin Long murders and whatnot. And it said that the #1 threat inside of the borders of America are the people waking up from the conspiracy theorists and these niggas on YouTube talking that talk, because it's intelligence. Remember, intellectual warfare trumps what they call physical warfare. Intellectual warfare it occurs before any shots get fired. So the way that you counter our intelligence is on the Lionsgate, on 888, you leak a document that says that the #1 enemy to the government, bar none, right around the time when white supremacy and white terrorism is in the news, how do you counter that? On the Lionsgate, you put out a report, you leak a report that said, nah, get these niggas. That's a ritual. That's how you counter the intelligence. Go and do the research on the date that the goddamn report dropped. It dropped on 8/8/2019. So they're countering our intelligence because there's an intellectual war being waged in America right now by way of the social media platforms. That's why the censorship on YouTube is what it is. That's why they're scrubbing the internet of all of the information and all of the truths and whatnot. That's called counterintelligence. Because the intelligence has gotten to a level where the people are now woke. There's a woke designation. It's a whole market.
$444 billion market.
Million.
So, huh?
I think it's million.
It's billion. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
So that's a good
44
segue,
billion.
right? I'm giving you, this is your segue. $444 billion woke market, right? So into who?
Into Jay-Z.
Into Jay-Z, Mr. 444.
So I want to put up an article real quick. I want to read the article real quick. But before we do that, speaking of scrubbing the internet, I want to encourage. You know, it's funny. We have 443 people in the chat. Who's gonna be the 444?
Come on.
Who's gonna be
How about
444?
One of y'all go over there so we could do the 444
But listen, I just put up a link. Y'all know I got banned from Super Chat, so you can't donate to me via Super Chat because of whatever. I'm bothering YouTube with the way my channel is situated. So make sure you donate to the Cash App. We got over 400 people. I know there's at least one good person in here at 1 in the morning or wherever you are. If you're in LA, 10 at night.
That's right.
That's willing to donate to Brother Rich for this magnificent information. When's the last time you see Red and Blue on YouTube together? How about that? Yeah. How about that? Red and the Blue together. So Red and the Blue, we had the opening with Dr. Valentine.
Opening with the doc.
Some good person is. I hope some good person is willing to donate.
Yo, hit up that
Rich.
Cash App, y'all.
Cash
What's the Cash App again?
Black Magic 363. Same
Black
as
Magic
dollar
363,
sign.
y'all.
Black Magic 363.
That's right.
So make sure you hit up this Cash App. We out here doing our thing. You know they trying to ban the brother from YouTube. Done took away, but you know. You can't stop what God has destined for you. So, you know, Brother Rich, I'm always going to be on top of the world. But with that being said, did I put that link for the people? Yeah, okay. With that being said, let me get to this article. Let me check out this article.
While you pull that article up, can I just respond to King Khufu? King Khufu said, we're more dangerous than the white extremists because we're not using guns. We're using our brains and our mouths. I don't think. You hear them coins dropping? Shit sound like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, Glenn Harris. Thank you.
There you go.
Glenn Harris. Yeah, thank you, Glenn Harris. I appreciate it.
I don't think that the family is giving the credit to our master teachers. I don't think the family is giving credit to the organizations who have stayed disseminating information almost for a whole century. Mine like the UNIA.
I want to add on to that. Good point.
All right. Mine like the Nubians, the scrolls that came out. What the NOI was able to do with Fall of America, the falling. Because if you go and read that book of prophecy, we don't even got to talk about Eat to Live. If you go and read the Fall of America, if you go and read the ISIS papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, if you go and watch the lectures that Dr. Phil Valentine did in the 90s, Dr. Delbert Blair, Bobby Hemmett, like all of this information is a part of what we call intellectual warfare. What are they fighting against? They're fighting against the decalcified pineal. They're fighting against the fact that if they did not appear on the scene to raise our people out of the dead, we would have a nation of walking dead. Okay? Coins. We're already at that point. But there's a percentage of us that are waking up at an accelerated rate, and that is scaring the boots off of these people who are collecting our data, and they're surveilling us, and they're listening to us, and they're watching us, and they don't know what to do with us. So go ahead, Rich.
I just had to get rid of a fuckboy who said, "Brother Rich, don't beg the people, teach." I'm not falling for that trick. You know, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let's cook 'em.
They almost got me about a decade ago with that bullshit. Information should be free and all this free bullshit.
That's right.
They'll leave you in the poorhouse.
Until he became Father Rich.
They will leave you in the poor. You will be broke, poor, decrepit, and then they'll still talk shit about you.
They be like, damn nigga, you ain't get your ones up.
I'm not falling for that shit. Matter of fact, let me post a link. I only got one person who donated, so I'm sure somebody else out there is willing to donate to this channel. This is independent media has been doing this for years, from coast to coast, before the internet, coast to coast. This is how you support independent media who's not supported by sponsors like Toyota and all this GMO. You support them with donations. So make sure you show support. Yeah, I know. That was the brother that sent. Okay, Seneschal, yeah. Hold up, Blooper. So make sure you donate to Brother Rich. But besides that, damn, Blooper, you done made me forget what I was about to say. We gotta say what you was about to say.
Household with WBAI, right?
Every morning, my father played WBAI.
NPR, right?
Yep.
These are major media outlets.
Major.
Every single day they doing a fucking fundraiser. Every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day.
What year? What time period?
So this was from the 80s.
From when to the 80s?
80
to yesterday, to today.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
They fundraise every single day.
Come on, man.
Right? What are you talking about?
People supported radio.
Yeah. So
people supported radio, NPR, WBAI.
But this is what I wanted to say.
And this is where the best news is at. This is where all of the breakthroughs are coming. This is where all the cutting edge information is at. This is where the intellectual war is really going down. In terms of what? The length that they're going to keep people dumb, deaf, and blind, right? And the what we have to do to counter that. Right? It takes blood, sweat, and tears. So how dare you say somebody is begging? How dare you say somebody don't have the right to say, look, it's 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm sitting up here disseminating information. You dig what I'm saying? There should be some level of compensation for that. Right?
I want to thank Samad, Usama, Tylen, Avant, Juanita Sermons. Thank you all for donating. But what I want to say was, one thing that I've noticed throughout the years, a trend, and I want to get on the people, because we always say that people get on the teachers, right? So the people always get on the teachers, and red pill's full of shit, blue pill's full of shit, KT, he decodes movies too much, he's full of shit. Tariq Nasheed is full of, we always say that. This is what I want to say. I'm tired of the full of shit people. Then I'm going to get to the program. You don't even have to respond to this. I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to segue to the show. But what I am tired of, family, and this message is for the people watching live and who will watch later on. Please don't tell me what are the solutions anymore. That's such a buzzword, such a cliche statement. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I watch KT tell everybody how to eat. After that, they say, well, what are the solutions? Motherfucker, he just gave it to you. I watched Claude Anderson talk about economics. I watched Amos Wilson when I was young on VHS tapes. I've watched Queen Afua. I've watched Dr. Sabi talk. I've watched even Brother Polite when he was talking about virtual real estate and buying domain names and flipping them. I've watched so many brothers and sisters give solutions to our current. I've watched Dr. Umar talk about the school system and how to get your kids off of drugs and how they're trying to set you up. I've watched brothers set up schools. Listen, stop asking me what are the solutions. Y'all have all the solutions. Apply this shit. They really want somebody to apply to do everything for them, that whole Jesus Christ shit. They want somebody to turn water to wine for them. They sitting back and they like, if you solve their problems, I need you to solve my problem. So the first thing they say is, well, you ain't nothing changed. No, ain't nothing changed for you, nigga. Shit changed. Ain't nothing changed for you, nigga. So stop telling me ain't shit changed. I watch shit change every day. I watch blue pill blossom. I watch red pill blossom. I watch brothers that I knew from the street blossom from consciousness. Stop. Shit ain't changed for you. When you say shit ain't changed, that means shit ain't changed for you. But shit is changing for black people. So cut that bullshit out. We have more entrepreneurs now than we had in the last 15 to 20 years. Shit is changing. Cut the bullshit out. Apply the shit that you're actually being taught and stop waiting for somebody to spoon feed you. You got brothers like Wesley Muhammad, Reza Islam talking about vaccinations. That's right. KT talking about vaccinations. If you have a child, learn about that.
Phil Valentine.
I had to apply the information in real time. It was tough because they put me under pressure in the hospital. It's one thing to learn it, but when you're in front of them white folks with them white coats and your girl is there like, nigga, I'm pregnant, don't fuck this shit up. It's a different ball game. That's right. Then your ass might get scared. Your ass might get a little scary then. Mm-hmm. But you gotta stand on your square. So it's not about the information is there. It's about standing in your square when it's time to apply the shit. So family.
They said go ahead, Rich. They said that's that light skin Virgo shit.
That light skin shit. Go ahead, nigga.
Stand on your square.
That's that Father Rich. I feel sorry for the young guys. The young guys had to get it.
Yo, stand on your square. Listen, family. Stand on your square. No, I gotta talk about because we're gonna hear this for the rest of solutions. What are the solutions are out there? Listen to KT for 3 hours and you got 1,000 solutions within 3 hours. KT's the fucking man. I mean, come on, the dude help my unborn child. I can't say enough about the brother, man. So stop with the bullshit. A lot of these teachers have their own individual solutions. They're all pieces to the puzzles. Family, it's a time we individually apply it and stop waiting on Jesus to come and save us. Nobody's Jesus. But with that being said, I want to segue to Jay-Z, family, because the topic is ownership right now. And we're talking about black people not shining shoes no more. That's right. One thing Jay-Z said when he was sitting at the table with Big Mill. He said, we don't shine shoes no more. That's right. So since we don't shine shoes no more, a lot of people are kind of confused about his partnership with the NFL. So I want to talk to you about it.
All right.
Let me just read this real quick. Rock Nation, an entertainment company founded by rapper and businessman Sean Jay-Z Carter, is entering into a multi-year partnership with the NFL to enhance the NFL's live game experience and to amplify the league's social justice efforts. As part of the agreement, Rock Nation will advise on the selection of artists for major NFL performances like the Super Bowl. A major component of partnership will be to nurture and strengthen community through football and music, including through the NFL's Inspired Change initiative. The NFL formally launched the Inspired Change initiative in early 2019 after more than 2 years of work with NFL players with the goal of creating positive change in communities across the country. Through this initiative, NFL teams and league office work with the Players Coalition and other NFL players to support programs and initiatives that reduce barriers to opportunity with a focus on 3 priority areas: education and economic advancement, police and community relations, and criminal justice reform. With its global reach, the NFL has a platform and opportunity to inspire change across the country, Jay-Z said. Rock Nation has shown that entertainment and enacting change are not mutually exclusive ideas. Instead, we unify them. This partnership is an opportunity to strengthen the fabric of communities across America. So a lot of people are real confused at this. And people are saying, I thought we was just protesting the NFL a year ago. What happened to the line from Jay-Z? I don't need you, you need me, or however it goes. I don't want to mess it up because it was a good line. But a lot of confusion with this move. Some people say, yo, Jay's playing chess. Some people say, yo, Jay sold out. What's your thoughts on this move right here? Because it's gonna have an impact on Black America, and that's why we're talking about it, family.
Sonic.
Yes. Thank you, Tony Smalls. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, you gotta take that article off the screen.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's touch on what is known as the woke marketplace first. Okay? Let's walk through what is known as the woke industry.
Right.
Okay? Forbes magazine put out an article in 2017 designating what everybody knows as the woke community. Many people may be on the live right now who came out of the woke community. You woke up as a result of the killings of Trayvon, Mike Brown, Black Lives Matter, Black Twitter, and things of that nature.
Hidden colors.
Hidden colors. You are a part of the woke community.
That
You're
way.
not necessarily the conscious community. You would be designated as the woke people. We were woke once too, so don't, but like during Malcolm X movie. Yeah.
But
Niggas was woke during Fight the Power.
wake up.
Yeah,
School days.
Fishburne and all that, school days.
Yeah.
So they designated that community as a $44 billion marketplace, right?
444.
444 billion,
Yeah.
right? It's really 44. I'm just saying. I'm keeping a buck with you. So inside of that $44 billion marketplace, not just when that article came out, but around the same time, right before that article came out and definitely afterwards, you begin to see people rise up in said marketplace because we all exist inside of marketplaces. Rich was just talking about this whole thing where we try to, where we even have to try to explain to the family that is participating in this information that this is a marketplace. Anywhere that when you wake up in the morning to go punch the clock and you go to your 9 to 5, you're inside of a marketplace. If you hopping off the porch and you getting in on a block, you're in a marketplace. If you going to a gentleman's club to do your thing, you're in a marketplace. If
Facts.
you stay home and you're on the internet and you turn your computer on and you're talking to people and you're charging them and they're cash apping you, you are inside of a marketplace. The problem with our people is that we don't extend ourselves into multiple marketplaces. We only exist in like 1 or 2 marketplaces. And those marketplaces are saturated. Those marketplaces are traps. You know what I mean? Niggas getting trapped up, getting locked up and everything. So the woke marketplace has luminaries inside of it. Those luminaries inside of the woke marketplace will be identified as Charlemagne the God. He's captured that market by putting out the books that he's put out, by aligning himself with conscious teachers and whatnot through the Breakfast Club, by his alignment with Tariq Nasheed and people like that. He is now a figure inside of the woke marketplace. Amanda Seales is part of the woke marketplace.
Facts.
She is a my son, with him aligning with Tamika Mallory and whatnot, who's
Facts.
aligned with Sharpton, the whole Sharpton network, nigga, that's the woke marketplace. Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, before they even designated a woke marketplace, them niggas had their own woke marketplace. When Al Sharpton was out there cooking for Tawana Brawley and out there running down on corporations, he was doing what? He was establishing a marketplace. Because what happened as a result of his protests, his marches, and all of his corporate beefs, they were cutting that nigga a check.
So,
go look it up.
to run down on corporations for cultural diversity, that's not a conscious hustle.
That's not a conscious hustle.
That's woke
That's
marketplace.
a woke marketplace hustle. When Jesse Jackson was running down on Google and saying you don't have diversity, what did they do with Jesse? They cut that nigga a check and they quieted him up and they gave him a bag. That's the game. They've been doing it since civil rights.
Civil rights, right.
Civil rights. They were doing it prior to that with Du Bois. If you want to talk about the juxtaposition, that's double consciousness. If you want to talk about Garvey, well, goddamn it, W.E.B. Du Bois was the Jay-Z, was the woke marketplace of his time.
Right. So with that being said, how do you now orient, right? Someone who's already in corporate, someone who already is in the industry, how do you orient them to come into quote unquote conscious, which has no organizational structure, which has no established marketplace? They have to come by way of the woke marketplace, and the way that they establish themselves is what? I'm gonna joke for a bag based on what? Social justice / social injustice. Facts. Right?
They're not trying to be conscious. They're not coming into consciousness. Nigga,
they're not. No, hold on. Let's just say it. They're not coming into quote unquote awareness to be smart. Niggas is coming into information to get a fucking bag.
To monetize it.
Right? To monetize the billions of dollars that's on the floor that nobody's running to.
So, Dapper Dan, what you saw take place with Dapper Dan, that is a prime example of the woke marketplace. But if you don't understand how it's a game, if you don't understand, it's damn near in alignment with politics. This is how politics works. If you don't know how that shit is played, your opinion will be respected, but it's not really, it's not grounded in nothing. You cannot approach this with your feelings because your feelings don't make no money. This is about the bag. If you ask T.I., if you ask my son, if you ask Charlemagne, if you ask anybody who's in that marketplace, what is this shit about?
Jay Morrison,
it is about the fucking bag. It's not about, oh, I want to be deep, or I want to know thyself, or I want to discover what my ancestors was doing on the plantation. No, nigga. If you ask anybody in that marketplace, what is this shit about? It is about shaking down these crackers for this fucking bag without a gun, with paperwork, like Blue Pill said. It's all because everything that you see taking place, it always started on paperwork. They put out a proposal, they put out a lawsuit,
and then they put out a press release.
We
sitting here reading it.
Paperwork.
That's all structured.
Through publicists, through management, through negotiations, and they get the bag, and you niggas is left dead broke. Oh, what's going on? Where's our justice? Reacting to the next shooting, to the next situation, and what is BLM doing? What's Black Lives Matter doing? What's the nigga with the blue vest doing? They going to get the bag. They got the bag already.
They got the bag. They out of there.
They out of here. They got the bag.
Right, bodies is cold. They gone.
They gone. Bodies is cold. The real frontline soldiers are being killed in St. Louis.
Facts.
And in Baltimore. And then the hustlers, the social justice warriors, what they call them, SJW. They're at Democratic dinners with Hillary and the spirit cookers, right? Lining up with Epstein. Yo, pencil me in your black book. I'll ride on the plane. And they're hobnobbing, rubbing shoulders with the Rockefellers, rubbing shoulders with the Carnegies, rubbing shoulders with the Rothschilds, rubbing shoulders with everybody, with the Trumps before he was president, hee-hawing, hobnobbing, and getting to that motherfucking bag. Like the people from before taught them. Like how Harry Belafonte, Clarence Avant, nigga, the Black Godfather. Did you watch the fucking movie? That's the game. They showed you in the Black Godfather, these niggas cook for the bag. Did they not?
Facts.
They couldn't. Sammy Davis couldn't sleep in the Vegas hotels. So what did they do? They went to the mafia and worked that out. Because they threatened the bag. Kaepernick, he couldn't get hired by a team. So what did he do? He cooked for the bag. He went and did the collusion. NFL paid him off, and I guarantee you on guard, that nigga's gonna be throwing a pigskin next season, especially with Jay-Z getting the deal that he got.
Facts.
That was the stipulation of the NFL deal. So they're gonna let everybody jump out the window. Oh, he's a sellout. Kaepernick comes in. He comes out at the halftime show. Meek Mill's performing.
Super Bowl.
Nigga, this is the new hustle. It's called, if you study the mafia, if you study how gangsters during the age of prohibition came up, if you study how the Italian and the Jewish mafia came up through Las Vegas, Hollywood, what did they do? They washed the blood off their hands with money. They became philanthropists. Niggas is, when you go to college, when you go to your college class, you might walk into a hall that's named after a fucking gangster, a shooter, a killer.
Or his mama.
Or his mama.
Yeah, I think it's different now than it was 5-10 years ago.
What's different?
What I'm seeing now is that...
No signal. Fix your camera.
Sorry, family. I don't think that this system that we, call white supremacy can no longer satisfy the Jay-Z's and the base of Donald Trump at the same time. We're in a different world now, after post-Obama, where there's a real sense of urgency with white people, where they feel like they're really becoming a minority. So the NFL might have a problem on its hand if they do cater to Jay-Z's needs. 10 years ago, that might have worked because white people didn't feel that threatened. Now it's different.
The NFL is looking at its bottom line.
What's the bottom line?
The viewership.
No, its bottom line shrunk considerably in the last 2 years. Its bottom line is dealing with viewership and attendance. Attendance primarily are Europeans, it's Caucasians, right? Viewership, you know what I'm saying? I would say, it's a toss-up because I don't really know how many Nielsen units are in melanated homes for them to gauge whether black people are still looking at that platform or not. Niggas might be buying less jerseys and stuff like that, but they need the melanated population to be entertained. They need them to be, the sticky eyeballs. They need the attention and they need the retention. You know what I'm saying?
As a businessman, what generates more money, white money or black money? What do you think? That's how a lot of corporations look. Gucci looks at it that way. What's better, white money or black money? All these corporations, they're like McDonald's. They're like, what's shit? This white money, it might be a little better than black money. So this is what I'm saying. This move by the NFL.
I mean, but your workforce.
They gotta choose now.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people gotta choose now.
They chose.
They already chose. It's not a choice.
They chose.
Who they chose?
You just read the press release.
So this is back to my original question, the statement. I think it might be a problem with white America. I don't think there's going to be a lot of happy white folks out there with this NFL move. It might be bad business for them. It might be a bad
because they are affording them nigga entertainment at halftime, and the fact that
because
what they're gonna say, you kowtowed, you sold out to Jay-Z, to the billionaire businessman.
They're giving niggas the illusion of power, and white folks don't like that. You think white folks like that?
I'm saying
white folks are not fucking dumb. White folks are not naive.
They know
white folks
business
are not
and
sleeping
politics.
at the wheel. So they understand what politics is. They've been following this shit for decades, for generations. They understand who the fuck Jay-Z is in a bigger scheme of things. They know what's going. They know what's going on with this guy. They seen it before. So letting him in, right? Letting Rock Nation in, or letting Jay-Z in with his roster of artists and his influence in black culture, that's not really a threat to white. They don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Cause he ain't not no owner.
Yeah,
he made a partnership.
He don't have a permanent seat at the table. They didn't lose nothing.
Okay.
It's entertainment at the end of the day.
He's another black man who they hired to provide entertainment for them inside of an entertainment entity.
How about that?
It's not a political move necessarily. You know what I mean? The way that they politicize the NFL and whatnot, with all of the kneeling and everything.
When Kaepernick comes back on the field, that's just entertainment for them as well, according to y'all.
Well, in the Europeans' mind, but look, in
the stands cheering too.
But look, in the Europeans' mind state, by bringing Jay-Z into the NFL, they're like, finally, niggas will stop kneeling. Well, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? That's another story when they bring Kaepernick back into the league and whatnot.
Or whatever those stipulations are.
That's what they'll deal with.
Whatever those stipulations are, they'll respond and react to it at that point. You feel me? And that's why he's there as a buffer to make sure that Kaepernick understands the corporate decisions that are being made. You need a handler, right?
Right.
What did Ebro say back then? We make decisions, nigga. So he was identifying back then. If Ebro could be fucking Kaepernick's handler, what, Jay-Z can't?
Yeah.
You understand? So, because nobody ever disclosed what sort of money Kaepernick got. You dig what I'm saying? So they like, yo, we gonna split this pie. We gonna jug on a whole nother level. And it's a game of chess. One person thinks that they outsmarting the other person who got a longer motherfucking plan.
The long game.
They got the long game
It's a legal stick up.
So you ever played, what's the game that Jay-Z be playing? Guts?
Guts, yeah.
Right? You ever played Texas Hold'em and shit like that?
Yeah.
You know how to play poker? Right? Nobody know who got the better hand.
You know?
The game is in motion. You know, and the people, once again, we're on the sideline spectating. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And like I said, it's a well-crafted press release to make it seem like Jay-Z's in control of these decisions that are being made anyway. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
To make it seem like...
So I guess, oh, I can hear that right. Moving on. We're gonna keep it with sports, since sports dominates the minds of melanated people, and that's the only way to get the melanated mind's attention.
I'm gonna just share one thing.
Yeah.
The 2020 NBA season is going to break all records.
Why? NBA or NFL?
NBA.
Why is that?
You just
What,
wait.
Zion Williams?
Beyond Zion, the viewership and
LA?
the participation of melanated people, ladies beware. Start getting shit done now. You know what I mean? Get that date now. Because when the NBA season kicks in,
Don't have no dates the night the Lakers is playing.
it's over.
It's a wrap.
They worked in the off season to make this shit the most stickiest season ever. Niggas are going to be glued to 2K, NBA Live, and their motherfucking that pass that they got to watch all the games. That's how they about to cook. But go ahead.
I want to move on to the whole NCAA situation.
Yeah, Rich
People
Paul.
have been saying it for years that that's straight slavery. Like straight coaches
slavery.
are making college coaches are making millions, like Coach K and the rest of them. And
We broke it. Yeah, we broke it down on this show.
Yeah, the players can't even
We
get
broke
donations.
$11 million, $31 million salaries.
They
Can't
don't
get a
even-
jersey.
They can't even get a gift.
If
from
Nike
somebody.
sent them some shoelaces, they could
Yeah,
get it.
they can't even get that.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I think Blue broke this down. The money that they generate goes to the white sports, the quote unquote white. I don't want to say white, but the quote unquote like
Racquetball.
racquetball and all that.
Yeah.
So they're like,
They're funneling.
They're funneling these black players.
This is a racket.
It's a racket.
It's a
and
racket.
they're funding the whole college from that.
That's right. It's a straight racket. It is the Matrix. It's the battery. The scene that you saw where they had us as batteries, our young black men. And they're in schools that are like Division 1s and 2s. Chapel Hill. You ever been to Chapel Hill? You ever been with Duke University? You ever been out there?
No.
They got our brothers around real Blue Devils. And I ain't just talking about Duke. So they got our brothers in all of these colleges all around America where the colleges are in towns that are anti-nigger towns.
Clemson.
Sundown towns.
Sundown towns.
Sundown towns. To whereas the athletes are at risk for being brutalized and targeted and profiled by the popo in those towns. So you're not even, here it is, these athletes are funneling millions of dollars into these colleges. The colleges are not even in towns where people who are melanated could benefit off of all of that money going around. The same way like the prisons, how they got the prisons scattered. We have 72 or 73 state prisons in New York State. All upstate, all in the goddamn boondocks and the mountains and whatnot. All around these Europeans and whatnot. They don't got no black people are benefiting off of the tax dollars that are coming into these towns. No black people are benefiting off of any of the because there's all kind of bonuses, tax bonuses that are spilling out of the coffers because these jails are at maximum.
Right.
Yeah, and those bodies are being counted as citizens.
And they got jails and colleges in the same town. How about that? You feel me?
So, they made a move, a controversial move that many consider racist, the quote-unquote Rich Paul rule.
Hater.
Yeah, where basically they want
Show
to
their hand.
move the goalposts where, you can't, they make it harder for you. And,
explain exactly what the Chris Paul rule is. Like, for somebody out there that don't know, they moved the goalpost back to do what specifically?
For sports agents,
okay.
If you're a sports agent, they realized that Rich Paul, LeBron's childhood friend, was extremely influential on college players, getting them to, I guess, bypass the NCAA and sign
skip the league. Okay.
Yeah. So they're like, wait a minute, this nigga here is threatening our bag. Let's put in some rules in place that apply specifically
lock him out
for people like him and that demographic.
That's right.
So they came up with a bachelor's degree.
Have to have a bachelor, 2 years active.
And some other stipulations. I forget the rest of them.
Yeah.
But it was directly. Everybody knew who it was aimed at.
Yes.
Everybody knew exactly what.
The minute they dropped it, they was like, Rich Paul rule.
Yeah. So they knew who this rule was, and they recently just changed it. All of the backlash, they just changed
the pressure.
The pressure. So they're like, oh shit, we look racist out there. Oh shit, these niggas might rebel. Chris Bouchard came out immediately and said, this ain't no Rich Paul rule. This is racist.
Yes.
Let's call it what it is. So they backtracked. They had their little conference with their little, whatever.
Damage
they backtracked.
control.
Yeah. So, but my question is, one of the solutions, since I talked about solutions earlier, was Chris Bouchard said the athletes should go to HBCUs instead of these other schools.
Yes.
So what do you think about black athletes, since they fund whole colleges, like we just said, racquetball and all that? What do you think about the idea of these prominent, dominant black athletes going to HBCUs instead of the Duke universities of the world?
Are HBCUs Division Ones?
Are they even active? Are they qualified? Like is there
who,
a Howard Ball
can you
team?
name one player in the NBA or the NFL
So does that even make sense?
That has been recruited from an HBCU?
No, I can't. No.
Okay.
So that's a broken system. It's so apparent. How the hell in the historically black colleges
niggas ain't
they don't gotta. No wonder everybody in them colleges boning and moaning and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they turn into party schools. Like, they don't got no sports. They're not competing. They're not a part of the cycle of champions. No, like they have all of these talented,
like you said, or the alumni system.
Or the alumni system. And the alumni system, you coming back from the NBA with a Nike deal, you're alumni to Duke, you breaking them off with all kind of, you got study halls, you know what I mean? You're bringing the bag back.
Yeah.
You're making sure
that the money funnels back.
That the money funnels back in, to whereas your children's children now have a home. Like how, what athlete was it, and they threw a big bag to the college? Was it Dr. Dre? Not even an athlete, but Dr. Dre went ahead and
70
funded
million UCLA. Yeah.
Huh?
70 million.
70 million to UCLA. But when I was in Atlanta.
And then what? His daughter turned around and got admittance, and he's like, congratulations.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to treat you good.
Yeah.
Like Morris Brown, when I was in the A, they shut down Morris Brown. They needed funding. Nobody, all of the dope dealers, all of the rappers, all of the preachers, everybody in Atlanta who had money, who had the bag. This was in the 90s. They didn't come and rescue that school. No, it's the 2000s. They didn't come and rescue Morris Brown. So, of course, if these colleges were to become, I think, do they have football teams? Are they even competing on a national football level?
Like Howard got Bisons that I know about. The LSU.
FAMU. Yeah, you got FAMU. All right, cool.
Where they do all the drum lining and shit like that.
All right, boom. So they in that game. Why they not in the NCAA balling? Where is that at? Because it can't exist. I know that it don't exist.
That shit would look like.
I didn't see the Tuskegee.
That shit's supposed to look like Air One, right? Like the Air One.
You know what I'm saying? With hot sauce in there.
Like niggas fed off the. Come on, son.
That should be like the Globetrotters.
Yeah, that's a major opportunity loss. Like,
I agree
major
fully.
bag bypass.
The basketball players that are currently being pillaged and sucked dry, because all of them how many of them make it to the NBA? I saw the draft, it was about 100, 200, the most, out of thousands of players. So I really feel that these players would benefit more, and it would be time to pay them for the if the historically black colleges were to get leagues. It would be historic if they began to compensate them for their talents.
Right. If they had revenue sharing
type
of situations to bring the talent over there,
where the money's in escrow or something. They get it once they graduate. Things like that.
Revolutionize the model.
Break the model.
Yeah, break the model. Disrupt the model.
And now when we speak about the Jay-Z's and the leverages that a Jay-Z would have by becoming a partner with the NFL, what does that do for a social justice warrior as a Jay-Z? Nigga, he has a whole new level to stand on. So now, if him and LeBron go locking arms and whatnot, and he goes at the NCAA, because he did bring that up years ago. He brought that up about them being in slavery and whatnot, and the unfair practices about not compensating these players. So now, with the NFL stamp and whatnot, if he were to say something, it would sound louder. It would be a louder boom in the room, rather than him saying it because before he was a sports agent. Yeah. And I'm wondering, is that a conflict of interest? Because Rock Nation Sports. Yeah. So is Rock Nation Sports, is that a conflict of interest with him brokering that deal with the NFL? But outside of that, he and other entertainers or other woke people that are in that spotlight, they could begin to raise awareness about the disparities that are taking place inside of that racket. It's easy to blow that shit up. It's so easy to expose them.
Let me ask you a question a little off topic, Red. How old is Amir?
Amir is 10 going on 18.
If Amir got accepted into a prestigious white school, very advanced and well known,
like a prep academy?
One of those. Would you send him there opposed to being, and it was all white, but you know what benefit him financially? Is it a problem with our people sending, do you think would it be a problem with you sending him there to benefit and just give him knowledge yourself, or would you rather him be around melanated folks to, just retain a certain amount of
culture?
Culture, yes.
I'm going with him.
What do you mean? I explain that. I don't know what you mean. You can't go with him to school, brother. You can't.
We're gonna live off campus, my nigga. You're gonna debrief me every day. If my son were accepted into a prestigious academy and based off of his intellectual prowess or his sports, because he's into sports heavy and whatnot. So it would depend if you're speaking his intelligence or his academics. I went, if he were to go into that system, like I said, I probably would relocate to be very close to him. If we were to allow him to enter that system, I wouldn't be comfortable just leaving him there by himself. I would be very hands-on, at least for the first 2 or 3 years. We'll work that shit.
I think that's a big decision for a lot of
we'll work it.
Black people.
Yes, it is, because one of the issues or one of the failures that take place when our children are indoctrinated into the Ivy League, because that's a very powerful system.
Me and Blue talk about this all the time in the past. All these geniuses, they get the college applications, and they be like, I got accepted to 8 Ivy League schools. We never hear from them again.
Never.
They be geniuses.
Never.
We be like,
brain drain.
We be like, what happened to them?
No, even the Mensa children, the 8 and 9-year-olds, they disappear. Right? But what we don't do is counterintelligence. So my son going to one of those schools would be a project for me. You understand? I'm going to implement counterintelligence. Let me see those books. Let me see what they're teaching you. Well, this is the truth. We're going to add on to this. We can put some plus degrees onto what they're teaching you so we can understand overall what's really going on. He's not going to get indoctrinated. Him being around Europeans inside of that institution is not going to take away from who he is. He'll be protected. But, you know, overall, I would probably want him to be inside of a quote unquote a black college because of the culture. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about a college that I would have to personally go and check out because I don't want my child going to 13th grade. That's what we used to call Morris Brown, 13th grade. The shit was high school. I saw students having sex in the hallways. That's how ratchet it was.
Morris Brown.
Yeah, Morris Brown. You know what I'm saying? In the hallway, butt ass. Yeah. So I'm not really, and when it comes to higher education, if he even goes into the college cycle, it's gonna be worth something.
Clandestine operations.
Yeah, he gonna be a spook.
Indeed. Let's talk a bit about this is new wave. When people think about your family, they obviously think about health.
Shout out Mama Pip.
All of y'all featured in this up and coming Dr. Sebi documentary.
All 100 of his children.
Wow. Wow.
That's
but, yo, there's a new wave.
Yeah.
Blue, you vegan, right?
Last time that I checked.
Okay.
Last time that I checked.
I know Red ain't vegan.
Last time that I checked, I'm a vegetarian.
But listen. Yo, everybody has the Impossible Burger now. And it's confusing to somebody who's deaf, dumb, and blind and trying to somewhat be healthy. They might think it's a good choice, but Burger King just came out with an Impossible Whopper.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I seen a commercial.
I just seen Dunkin' Donuts today.
I seen a commercial today.
I mean, bro.
And I was looking. I was like,
the vegan market, like
White Castle.
You talked about the woke. Is that the woke market? The vegan market, is that one of the same?
Yes. Beyond Burgers and the woke shit fit hand in hand.
Fit hand in hand.
It's all
so this
part
market
of the
has
same.
been officially infiltrated. This vegan market.
just like consciousness has been infiltrated by the woke market.
Yes.
The plant-based market, right?
Ooh.
Has been infiltrated by the vegan market.
Plant-based versus vegan.
Right, which doesn't have the same stipulations or designations as plant-based. Case in point, they opened up a new Whole Foods on Atlantic Avenue. I just came back from Atlanta, right? Yeah, on Flatbush in Atlantic, right?
By the Apple Store?
Yeah, by the Apple Store.
Oh,
so I'm telling the homies, I'm like, yo, son, they got this shit called the Impossible Burger. It's slapping. You dig what I'm saying? It's when I was indoctrinated. I had one of them joints. It was too real.
Yeah, I have one.
It was too true to be. I was blown away.
It's for real.
Right? So I came back. I told the homies, I'm like, yo, you gotta experience this. We was going to get ingredients because I was about to make the Cosmic Kale and something else that weekend. So we had to go to Whole Foods anyway, because I get the top premium ingredients, right? So they had a store upstairs in Whole Foods to make the burgers. So I'm like, yo, y'all got that Impossible? She's like, nigga, we plant-based in here. We don't fuck with that. So I had already known. She got at you. Yeah, she got at me, right? So I had already known a little something, but I was conveniently ignoring what I knew. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
I was in plausible deniability. And then my peoples asked me, they was like, what she mean by that? I thought it was vegan. And I had to explain everything vegan ain't vegan.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Hence that we go forward to KT the Arts, that dude, shout out to him, right? KT the Arts degree, great information. He did a YouTube.
He did one with me a while ago. He talked about the glyphosate.
Yeah, glyphosate, right?
Where
he discombobulated with, but he was talking about the heme, and he explained in December. I remember, he was the first one that jumped out there, and I was mad at him.
He bodied that, yeah.
First
I was mad at him.
Nobody said anything.
My taste
Because I was finna be in the Bronx flipping Impossible Burger, cause I looked on my food app and that shit hadn't hit New York yet.
I had people.
I was about to slutty vegan and why.
People told me KT was a vegan extremist when he came out and said that.
Bro.
That's right.
He was a vegan identity extremist.
So many people was hot at hell.
Shitted on the Impossible Burger.
So many people was hot. They was calling me like, yo, your brother wilding out here, son. You gotta reel him in. And had I not got sick, you dig what I'm saying? I would have still been eating the Impossible Burger. I got flu-like symptoms. I had not been sick in Lord knows how long, and I couldn't trace it, right? And look, KT won't talk to me to this day, because I went on a nigga retreat. And I think I was able to do jumping jacks and push-ups one time. You know, he had me designated as the fitness coordinator, and I was going through a mucus attack, and I ain't tell nobody the shit. I had flu-like symptoms, and I'm ravished, and I'm coming out late. Everybody up at 7ish, and I'm coming out at 8:30. Like, who I'm working?
You ruined his retreat, man. On that Impossible Burger.
Yo, I couldn't get in my bag. I wasn't on the goal or nothing. I couldn't dig deep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to nurse my shit back. I'm like, yo, why do I got this mute? Why am I having this attack like this? You dig what I'm saying? I get back. I didn't put one or two together. I got semi-better. Then I ate another Impossible Burger. I had a crisis. Damn. You feel me? And then I started putting one or two together. And I was like, wait a minute. The only common theme between this shit is the Impossible Burgers. And then lo and behold, I go online and people got posts up talking about, yo, I have flu-like symptoms. Cause my shit is this. Impossible Burger is a transgender burger. Why do I say that? Right?
Brother.
Why do I say that? I know I'm about to go into some deep waters. Right? And no disrespect to the transgender community because they do watch this program. But this is what I'm saying. And bear with me on this. Tastes like a burger. Look like a burger.
But it's not a burger.
But genetically it's not a burger. So this is the issue with the mock meat, right? Because it's specifically they're using heme and other protein isolates, whatever the hell they doing, your brain can't tell the difference. So now my body is responding to me like I'm eating motherfucking beef. How can your brain differentiate that this is not a burger if this shit is made in a petri dish with beef proteins and all types of other shit? You dig what I'm saying? It's a Frankenstein burger. It's a Frankenstein burger. And it's tricking the brain. The brain can't tell the difference. They don't have the research. So I had to go back and do the research on the research, right? They don't have the protracted lab test results and research for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years to say this is what this thing is, this is what this is gonna do to your body tissue. This is how your brain is gonna respond to this. This is what your blood is gonna do. This is how this shit coagulates. This is how it breaks down in your intestines. They don't have none of that research. They're out here experimenting on people. And just like I said to them, anytime you see something hit Dunkin' Donuts, right, which is the DDs, your 44s, I've been told you about, there's a certain aspects to this 44 shit that falls right into the Illuminati, goddammit. Where they're talking about domestications and control. So there's an organization called the Carlyle Group.
Carlyle.
Okay? Of which George Bush and the rest of them dudes and Cheney and all of these dudes, yeah, they're major investors and funders, and they're the people behind the Carlyle. The Carlyle Group owns Subways. The Carlyle Group owns Dunkin' Donuts. So you could forget about thinking that you're gonna get, and then they go into partnership with the countries that they're at war with and bring them, you know, the people that they're in bed with in those countries to staff and stock these particular, so you don't be knowing why be the Kashmir invasion, the Yemenis invasion on these corners.
Yeah.
You feel me? It be the people that they're doing politics and deals with.
Whenever
you understand? Hold
America,
on. So anytime you see these major investment groups, these corporations attach themselves to a product like the Impossible Burger, which is already backed by Israeli science and lab techs right? Lab tech companies and science companies, and Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates.
Okay?
Of all people.
Of all people. I'm telling you like I know. Yo, there's no way that people, right? Because you know about Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's not a foot traffic city. Atlanta's not a city where people put up with inclement weather and conditions and elements. Ain't no motherfucking way that you're gonna stand in cold weather, 20 and 30 degree weather for 2 hours waiting for an Impossible Burger at Slutty Vegan if that shit don't have some motherfucking drugs in it. Right? Because I was waking up fiending for that. I went to sleep dreaming about the Impossible Burger when I had that shit. Right? I was fiended out. I was waking up dreaming. I wanted 2 of them shits a day. I couldn't get enough. Damn. I mean, I didn't go down that particular route. Yeah. I was just one off of them shits.
Yeah, but you felt
I felt the effects. I felt the effects.
Yeah.
It was real. So I'm telling you my real story, my real life story, instead of the conjecture to say, oh, I'm reading a report, I'm doing the research, and this is what it says. No, I'm saying this is the physical effects that it had on my body. So you'll see people lined up at Slutty Vegan and all of these other establishments. Impossible Burgers not for vegans. That's not the target demographic of Impossible Burgers. Yeah. I read the reports, I have them. You know what I'm saying? They're specifically going after meat eaters. This is not for vegans to begin with. It's not for plant-based demographic. It is for carnivores.
Yeah.
So when you see the people online for these establishments that are bearing the elements to waiting for this burger, those are not vegans categorically. I remember I had went into LA after Nipsey made transition, and we was across the street talking to the lady that made the dress for his mother. She was in there with us. And the lady was telling his moms how she found out that her son had got killed. And she was like, yo, there was a mob of teenagers and young people outside on Crenshaw stretched down 2 blocks. I thought he got killed across the street. She was like, but come to find out, he got killed up by the store. She was like, I didn't know what was going on until I went outside and found out that a Slutty Vegan food truck came to Leimert Park. And they had a goddamn line down a block, 2 blocks, right? Because it has, you know, it got the right marketing. They're on the right. So gangbangers, niggas with, you know, not your typical, prototypical, quote unquote, vegans are responding to the call. You understand? Yeah. Everybody but vegans is like, yo, son, you need to get up on this. And I understand why. Cause every time I've had that burger, I had to call the waitress over like, yo, you got my order wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me biting into quote unquote a beef burger. You got my order wrong. Nah, that's your burger. That shit tastes better than sirloin beef, of course. Right? So I feel like this, how you gonna get away from this? Like, you're really looking at Soylent Green. Wow. You're really looking at the invasion of the power people, because goddamn it, if they put something in that burger, other than the glyphosate and all that other shit that they're doing that's making people addicted to it, yo, do you know how much bread? They were at an Impossible Burger shortage a little while ago in the whole country.
Do you know what the stocks?
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna pull the stocks on.
Do you know what the stocks are doing, bro? Anybody that's out there that's a day trader, or you, nigga, do you know what the Beyond Meat stocks is looking like?
And in this conversation, we do have to make a designation, because the conversation about Beyond Meats is not the same conversation about Impossible
Burger. Yeah, you
Impossible Meats. You have to differentiate the two, because Beyond Burger is plant-based. You know what I'm saying? Impossible Beef or Impossible Burgers is not.
But Beyond is on the stock market, so go and look into that.
Yeah, Beyond is on the stock. Booming. They're going baby on baby, right?
That's baby on baby, baby.
Wow. Well, Blue looked that up. So Blue,
look, here we go.
Yeah.
Everyone is jumping on the plant-based train, right? 24% plant-based meats in 2018. This is talking about, the retail. Plant-based meats versus animal meat in retail, right? In 2016, 6% plant-based meats, 2017. So this is the market, right? They had 6% of the market in 2017. They jumped to 24% in 2018.
From 6 to 24.
From 6 to 24.
So anybody who understands stocks and investment, you dig what I'm saying? Right? Voice. Why is this not a topic, my nigga? Like, I wake up to...
Was there a lot of marketing involved?
He talks about it. Voice talked about it.
Only 2% animal meats made they made a 2% increase in the stocks in 2018 for animal meats.
So
you dig what I'm saying?
A lot of those documentaries on Netflix, what the health, right? A lot of those
were
responsible for
moving
people
that, yeah.
seeking alternatives. And then what happened? You had somebody come and fill the void and jump in the market and provide them with a solution, Hegelian. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because people was like, oh, once they found out that the cows were, farting and that was hurting the atmosphere, just beyond not eating meat. Once they presenting it as a global crisis on an environmental scale, and then they showed the little baby chickens getting turned into McNuggets and whatnot. Remember the big machine that you could put a goddamn fridge in, and it grinds it up? They was throwing cows and horses in there, grinding it. Like, all of that pushed people in a direction. And unfortunately, the woke industry or the conscious industry did not corner that. Nigga, the woke market cornered it. And the woke market is not black people. The woke marketplace is diversified. It is what they call the what's that trigger word that they be using? The ADOSs?
Yeah, because let's try to figure this shit out, right? Because this is even blowing my mind. Currently, Beyond Meat has a market value of $10 billion.
10 billies.
Which is relatively similar to respected food industry company Pilgrim's Pride, America's largest producer of chicken, which is valued at $6.7 billion.
What?
However, Pilgrim's Pride generated almost $11 billion in revenue in 2018, 125 times more than Beyond Meat. Who's cooking these books? Why are they forcing this down the proverbial throat of this country?
That's interesting.
Looking at these macro numbers, it's clear why Beyond Meat has generated criticism, but I think its valuation reflects how hopeful investors are in the alternative meat category. So its valuation is what? Based on its future, right? Based on the fact that they're looking at trends. This is called future markets. So investors are looking at trends, or the people that are responsible for valuation are looking at the trend in the market and saying, look, the trajectory of this particular stock is skyrocketing. There's no ceiling to it. Why? Because they're gonna come out with Beyond Chicken. They already come out with Beyond Sausage, Beyond Bake. You know what I mean? So they're gonna Beyond every
Beyond Swine.
Beyond Swine.
Beyond Lamb. The Arab is gonna go crazy.
Right? So
Beyond chitlins. Wait till they get that in their system.
The real meat market is a $1.4 trillion global market. You know what I'm saying? And they said
it would be more than that.
They said if plant-based proteins, meat can even take a small share, you feel me, of that market, this could potentially sustain Beyond Meat's valuation in the long run.
Whew. Listen, wow, that was amazing.
IKEA is one of the 6th largest food retailer in the world. Who knew that?
IKEA?
Who knew that?
I did not know.
How?
I got balls over here. Okay?
By selling food out of IKEA?
No.
Oh, they got their hands in a whole nother shit.
Right? They announced in May that they are developing plant-based Swedish meatballs, which will be tested in select markets in February 2020.
No, they already got that that shit, I think.
And IKEA, you tried
They
it?
had some meatball shit in there when I went there.
Did they?
Yeah.
IKEA did?
IKEA, yeah, they got like a little cafeteria area.
And you found that?
Yeah.
Nigga, what a furniture you
Niggas
looking
IKEA cafeteria, man. You a special something.
Bro, IKEA's big. You take a break.
You a special man, bro. After you pay $10 for a bedroom set, nigga, you was figuring, yo, I can get some quarter fries, some fries for 50 cents. After nigga buy a whole living room set for $30, you wanna go buy a Beyond Burger fries, nigga? Like,
IKEA ain't cheap like that.
I know.
I just this shit right here came from IKEA. This desk right here. I'm about to.
Oh, word?
Right. So they say uniquely targeting real meat eaters. The company develops and manufactures a variety of plant-based foods, all of which are vegan, including their flagship offering, the Beyond Burger, as well as Beyond Beef Crumbles, and Beyond Sausage. Their products are increasingly being stocked in the meat section at grocery stores across North America, which is part of their strategy to actively target meat eaters.
My question would be to the family watching and the family here. If we are going to say the lesser of two evils, if we want our people to stop having heart attacks, stop eating this poison meat, stop, the torturing of the cow, the torturing of the chicken, the torturing of the pig, all of these things that we say, yo, this needs to stop. I saw a two-headed fish on Instagram today that somebody pulled out of the Atlantic. It had a head on one side and a head on the other side. So we're seeing that Fukushima, the Japan nuclear spill that went into the 2011 nuclear spill at Fukushima is affecting the quote-unquote sea life and
Aquatic
whatnot.
life, right.
Aquatic life. So my question would be, is this what is considered to be a gateway food that could bring people into an electrified plant-based diet?
Brown explained in an interview with CNBC in January that 93% of Beyond Meat's customers eat meat regularly. In fact, the company doesn't even promote itself to vegans and vegetarians, who comprise less than 5% of the population. Right? So this is just like LBGT. What percentage of the population do you think that they comprise?
Shit, now?
50%.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Technically less than 4% of the population.
I don't know about that number.
Yeah, they need to recount them niggas.
I'm just saying.
I don't
So you have these relatively small percentage base, right, niche populations, vegans, LBGT, but look at their market value. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look at their market value. We out of June, right? These motherfuckers still got rainbows everywhere.
Crazy.
You dig what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And they have designated this the year of the vegan.
I went to East West Bookstore and they had a rainbow flag. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with spirituality?
I mean, you in a village, bro. It's East West.
Yeah.
So, what comes of these niche markets? Because, this all falls into what we're talking about, right? In regards to marketplaces, valuations. You dig what I'm saying? Who are coming up with these numbers and how are they designating it? Because, right, all of these, they got market caps. You know what I'm saying? This is how you get the bag. So, yeah, like these particular plant-based meat, plant-based alternatives, for the lack of a better terms, you know what I'm saying? There's an onslaught of them coming, and just like we just showed you, because of the valuation, it's not gonna stop here. It's gonna be nonstop. You know what I mean? The safety concerns, I think, a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? It went out the window, and this shit initially was about health.
Right.
It was about health. But when you bring a behemoth in, and they knew exactly what they was doing.
It's about the bag now.
Yeah, when you bring a behemoth in like that, and it becomes about the bag, then you lose and compromise something else. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the overall sentiments of the conversation that we have in period.
The whole arc of the conversation is
the whole arc.
The bag is interjected. When that big money comes in, you lose a lot of color in the wash.
Indeed. Before we close out, I just want to take a question or two from the people in the chat room.
Of course.
So, I'm gonna open up the line right now for anybody who has a good question in the chat room. We about to wrap it up. I want to thank y'all.
About to get on my bike for being out of here.
Thank y'all for being in the chat room. It's 2 in the morning, East Coast time. West Coast time, I think it's 11, so it ain't too late West Coast time. But thanks for everybody for being in the chat room. Any good questions out here, family? Before Red and Blue, haven't seen them together on this show in a while. Before they get out of here. They said, what kind of blue are you single? I'm asking for good questions. They asking that Blue Pill is single, man.
Nigga got on white. With a new cut.
They have been commenting on your outfit today, Blue. They have been commenting on.
Tell them, you know, I just shot a video today for my new project, so, you know, be on full alert. You know what I'm saying? We got a special surprise coming.
Give me some. I'm about to wrap it up. If y'all ain't got no questions, man. There's 600 of y'all in here.
Come on, let's get some.
Come on. I know it's 2 in the morning.
Get some real feedback, y'all.
Salute to the family.
I know everybody tired.
Make sure y'all go see that live stream I'm doing on Sunday, August 18th. I'll have the link in the description box, so you can go and get your tickets from Eventbrite.
Any side effects from the fake meats? Well, Blue Pill just said he got the flu.
Yeah. I said I had flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
I had flu-like symptoms. It broke me down. I had this paste, this phlegm that was just.
Blue, do you ever feel weak being a vegan that any little thing you eat, your body breaks down? Like, listen, check this out. This is
Nah,
interesting.
I don't.
This is interesting. Now, the vegan's supposed to be so strong, their immune system, but y'all niggas can't handle
Y'all
shit.
niggas?
Because you're a vegan, so you know I gotta
Come on,
talk.
son.
I gotta talk with some.
I've seen you.
I gotta talk with some.
Nah,
you know, I gotta make this question.
I seen you get a sip and then you go at vegans extra hard. Please don't make me the target of your vegan vehemence, nigga.
For whatever reason, no, I mean KT's that's my teacher, that's my sensei, so I care. But listen, for whatever reason, the vegans, it seems like they break down real fast.
I mean,
hold up. Who the fuck wants to break down in the world we live?
Niggas got brittle bones.
We live in New York City.
Hold on. Let him finish.
We live in America where you might not get off work till 3 in the morning. Nobody wants to break down because they eat a piece of a fucking donut, bro.
But when you say break down, explain what that.
They get sick. They get the sniffles. They get a cold. Next thing you know, they got the flu. They feel like bro, if I ate a McDonald's burger, I would feel like I'm about to die, bro, because I haven't eaten in so long. So when your body stops eating something, it's like all of a sudden
I've heard these arguments before. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, "Yo, son, you know, you want to keep some dirt in your system just in case you got to eat dirt one day." And I was like, I understand that conversation. I understand that argument. You dig what I'm saying? I think that everybody's system is orientated different, you know, and KT has spoken on this plenty of times. There are key essential minerals and oils and shit like that the majority of vegans that are following whatever prescribed diet are missing out on. You dig what I'm saying? The omega-3s, right? Your vitamin E's and your vitamin B's and your vitamin D's and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's other, you know, there's other things.
Even KT got me eating Brazil nuts every day for the selenium.
Yeah.
So there's all types of shit.
Selenium is key.
Yeah.
You know, right? So there, and I got some gold coming out with all of that, right? So there's things that people are not mindful of. I was lucky enough to just have a consortium of different things that I could draw from, you know what I mean? But then I look at people online and how they get it's all based on your introduction and your orientation. Like, who's giving you this food advice? You know what I'm saying? Now, right, like when we were younger, we used to, Kasabi, you know what I mean? He was not overstressing being muscular and cut up and shit like that. You know what I mean? This wasn't one of his stress points. They were eating for health and not necessarily
Cosmetics.
Yeah, for the cosmetics and the strength factor involved. Like, he wasn't fortifying his body to fight the revolution necessarily. You understand?
Yes.
So there are different segments, you know, of this community that you have to, you know, get keyed in with and get tapped in with. Like, I'm in the gym all the time. I'm gauging my body to see what my energy levels are, what my power index is. You understand? At the same time, I can identify the fact that I was incarcerated maybe in 05, and this was a what you call it? What they call them shits?
Skid bid.
A skid bid, right? But I had carton milk during the skid bid. I was able to do more on the workout tip in 2.5 months off of that motherfucking, that milk, that carton
steroid?
milk. Cause I had, my shit got super brolic. This one I came out and I had to fight with the police. I had to fight with 8 to 10 police officers and I was flinging them.
Off of cow's milk?
I had that bovine.
Nah.
I had them steroids in me, my nigga.
Oh, you Wesley Muhammad shit?
Yeah.
Mad cow disease.
Yeah.
Drinking that liquid gold.
Yeah. I was on that liquid.
You was on your Wesley Muhammad.
You feel me? So I can attest to say, yeah, you can cheat. You can go and get your steroids because the fucking cow's milk has steroids in it. The beef gonna have steroids in it. You know what I'm saying? So niggas be boasting that, oh, I'm eating. No, you're on steroids, my nigga. You're on the byproducts of some cow that was 6 months old, that when it died, it looked like it was fucking 20 something, 26. Cause they shot the shit up with bovine fucking steroids. And you ate that. And that's what got you feeling brave. That's the shit that got these young buck niggas signing these NCAA contracts, right? Categorically in the South where you find the beef industries at, that's where you're gonna get your young buck, your prime beef motherfucking football players at.
Milk does the body good. We've been told that since we was
It's milk got steroids in it.
Steroid does the body good.
Steroids do the body good. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm able to live with the fact to say, look, I get it how I live. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm a CMOS baby. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is just and you cocksucker. Look.
Sit down. Sit down.
Just saying,
Sit
B.
down, man. Sit down. Your baby mama ain't CMOS. You ain't give birth to that.
Everybody on CMOS now.
That's a good thing.
Right?
That's a good thing.
And it's a good thing. But don't forget who the motherfucker took all the arrows and the bullets and everything else for CMOS over 10 years ago. Right? This is my 10-year anniversary for Seven Heaven. On my born day, my 44th, right? So, I'm glad that people are catching on, you know what I'm saying, to get those essential minerals, you know what I mean? KT the Arts degree got more information about other essential minerals that you need. I think he got Mama Pill in him on the phytoplankton that he's been talking about, and the eat this or that. The young man got a lot of shit in his catalog. You need to go and highlight him. Highlight Minister Inky. Minister Inky did the work in terms of fortifying a complete dietary regimen that vegans need if you're gonna be on this path, you know what I'm saying? And if you wanna build up that warrior strength, like, you know what I mean, anatomy, shout out to my brother, because I can't leave him out. Shout out to the wellness warrior, Supernova Slum, and Chef Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Chef Aki.
Shout out to Chef Aki. Right? With the black sea moss and the good quinoa, and just reminding people the necessity of keeping your protein intake all the way up. But there's other factors, there's other things. But for my people that are, active in that gym, remain active. You know what I'm saying? Get on the goal. You dig what I'm saying? Goldwater.com. And yeah, man, that's what it is. Like, all immune systems are built different. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, there are people that are not properly, like, You just can't orient yourself into something that you don't have the directions. And Sabi's food list is not the direction. Sabi's food list was prescribed to people who had ailments, who were taking the product, who were taking off of mucus forming food because they needed to focus on the products. That's not what you should be transitioning to, coming directly off of steroids that you've been on for all of your life. Your body's gonna be in shock. You need to find something that's gonna transition you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
nigga, Beyond Burger.
And yeah, you know what I mean? Huh?
Yeah, nigga, a Beyond Burger. Some Beyond Nuggets or something.
You know.
Yo,
That's transition food, is it not? Is the Beyond Burger transition food?
I like Beyond Burger.
Is the Beyond Burger though, in the whole product line, is that not transition food?
It's transitory.
If I'm a hardcore chitlin eater, can I transition through slutty vegan all my way to the motherfucking kale wraps, the punani wrap?
I wouldn't advocate Impossible Burgers. I would say Beyond Burger. I didn't have every reaction to Beyond Burger.
That's why I just said.
You said Slutty Vegan. Slutty Vegan
Well,
sells
Slutty Vegan
Impossible
sells
Burger.
Impossible. So the Beyond could be an alternative as a quote unquote transition. That's the bridge that you're walking over before you want to start eating berries and shit, right?
Yes and no. Because that's not something you should be doing every day, all day. You can get you're gonna get carried away.
With the Beyond?
Yeah.
But if I'm coming from a carnivorous diet where I'm eating blood, I'm eating flesh, I'm addicted to meat.
Right.
I remember when I was
your parasites are, right.
Yeah, well, the parasites are, that's what they want to eat.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
they
they're
wanna
sending
eat.
out signals.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was transitioning, we would eat tofu turkey.
Who?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This was way back in the day.
Nigga trying to implement.
Nah, I'm just saying.
We would. He said we would.
I'm saying me and mine.
Okay.
We would eat transitional food.
Yeah.
To take us into the war.
Okay.
Quinoa and everything came
You
later.
never made it. Yeah.
I made it. Stop
Okay.
playing. But the quinoa and all of that other stuff will come later. I'm just
Okay,
saying
yeah.
that we needed
Get
that
to the point,
transitional.
yeah.
So is that cool?
Like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here and advocate because you know what happens? You know, like with everything else, niggas start binge eating and then they 30, 40 Beyond Burgers in talking about, nah, but I heard Blue Pill on Brother Rich talking about, nah nigga, this is not something that you do that shit every now and then. You know what I mean? And my whole shit, right? Shout out to Dr. Congolini. This is another one of my health advocates, you know what I'm saying, that has been really teaching me a lot about, you know, you can miss a lot of shit by just jumping in 300 feet of water, bro. You dig what I'm saying? The detox period is so important. You just can't throw on new clothes without taking a shower.
That's a fact.
It's the same shit that we talk about in consciousness. The vegan shit is the same way. If you want to absorb the micronutrients and have the best vegan experience, right? You need to look towards detoxing, and then that's a whole system right there, because there's a proper way that you do it and there's a lot of improper ways that people are being taught to do it right now. So you cannot do master cleanse, right, and be stripping your body of nutrients without putting nutrients in.
Yes.
You can't be stripping your body down with all of these detoxes trying to snatch your fucking waist. You dig what I'm saying?
And what's the thing called, where they put the water?
Colonics?
The colonics, stripping, all of that.
Yeah.
Stripping.
I mean,
you know.
there's other ways that people are doing all of that. I don't even want to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? About what they should or shouldn't be doing in terms of colonics. Do your research. That's what I would say on that. But yes, colonics are stripping certain aspects of, you know, your lining or what have you. But just overall, know that you have some motherfucking parasites in you. Know that we live in a world over-infested by parasites. I don't give a fuck if you've been eating plants. You dig what I'm saying? You got some parasites in you. And definitely if you've been eating meat. So don't think that you're just gonna jump from eating meat for 15, 20 years and just jump on these plants And the fact that you just feeding your parasites chlorophyll, they just gonna pack up and leave. You need to find an aggressive program to address these motherfucking parasites directly, and that's war. You dig what I'm saying? That's war.
That's that war going on inside.
That's war. So even what you've been talking about with people getting weak and breaking down, that shit might specifically have something to do with the motherfucking parasites breaking them down. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent.
Because they have a grip and they have a hold. Not only on your body and your physiology, but on your mental, on your mind. You
Somebody
understand?
said 100 Georgia pine, turpentine, gum spirit kills parasites.
That's
I just
cool.
had to put that out there.
That's yeah. I mean, once again, tread safely and carefully. You know what I mean? You have to know what you're doing with turpentine.
That's right.
You understand?
You
gotta know what you're doing with turpentine, or you're gonna get binded up as well.
I'm gonna make this last point, then we're gonna wrap it up because it's getting late. 2:22 in the morning. Me and Cambatta was having an interesting conversation about, this was a while ago, this is probably about a year ago.
Shout out to Cambatta.
We was talking about, make sure you buy that Holy Ghost 2 album. Doing real good on the independent charts.
I tell you,
it's doing good on the independent charts right now. Make sure.
You the GOAT. I ain't got to tell you that.
Yo, listen, me and Cambatta, we was talking.
No signal.
About health. We was talking about health and improving our diet. And we made an interesting observation. I was saying like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, because my mom passed away when I was 25, and I'm like, yo, I see homeless people that eat like pure shit. They could eat shit out of can, out of garbage. Their bodies look all dirt-filled and decrepit, and they just living year after year. They just moving. They just the zombie feel. So they just chilling. Cambatta said, "Yo, I think them parasites keep them niggas alive.
They do.
And if they change their diet, they would die.
Straight like that.
So if the goal of a vegan is to stay alive, the parasites keep niggas alive. If that's the end goal, the fuck parasites could keep you alive. If that's your goal, eating healthy could keep you alive, and being parasitic could keep you alive. Either route could keep a nigga alive. So we was talking about having that unhealthy diet. That shit keeps you alive as well. Could you touch on that for me,
Well, I've made a point to explain to people that they're a secondary human.
Oh, that's fucked up.
What do you mean by that, Blue Pill? It means that there's more bacteria on your body than there are biological cells that would identify you as what you think you are as a human being.
Living.
You are a host to bacteria, my nigga.
Yeah. Who
You
want to be a
understand?
host?
Look, they got a whole new movement. I got these articles too of people who are they're going back to the European shit.
Yeah.
They're bathing once a year now.
Yeah. They don't want to.
They got a whole movement based on that now, right?
Yeah.
I saw one of them on a train.
Straight up, right? They got a whole new movement. And these are not homeless people and all that. These are affluent people. You know what I'm saying? They say that they don't have no more odor because they have learned how to culture the bacteria on them. They have learned how to churn certain shit from nitrates to what have you. Yeah, all of that. You dig what I'm saying? So you are primarily bacteria, first and foremost. You're secondary human because you are a host to your bacteria. The bacteria is not a host to you. And the bacteria is older than you. You dig what I'm saying? So the bacteria and the virus and the parasites, all of these come from the same, they all have an interrelationship. So yes, I would say that there is an aspect of parasites that keep people alive. You dig what I'm saying? But then, there's, like I said, it's gonna be a war. You can fight for your body back. You dig what I'm saying? Or you could continue to be a host for parasites and not in control of your own thoughts and all of the mental psychosis that we see in the streets. Black men talking to themselves without Bluetooths, right? We're shooting ties on, so we're not talking about niggas that's homeless, right? I've said plenty of times, I say, yo, I have not met stronger people since we're talking about strength, right? Because I'm in the gym with niggas who's big and balloon. Them niggas is corny, pussy. They all, you know what I'm saying? They're not really, like, what the fuck is that? That's very cosmetic. But you talking about some strong people? Homeless people, right? Homeless people who have adapted to the elements. You know what I'm saying? Who have a, this nigga sleep on concrete. What's harder than that? You know, and some of them might wake up begrudging, but some of them, they be up at 7 in the morning with smiles on. Good, happy, I was feeding them. And motherfucking Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? It was jipper. They had something to look forward to. When niggas in the high rise and all of that, with all of the accoutrements around them, you know what I'm saying? Depressed. I don't have this, I don't got a fatty, I'm going to get my shit cut. You dig what I'm saying? These people have already settled in and been like, look, just give me my little piece of crack rock and leave me the fuck alone. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to live in no ivory tower. I'm good right here, because guess what? If some shit falls apart tomorrow, I'm going to be on top. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be on top. I know how to sleep in the elements. I know, where the you know what I'm saying? I know how to get in between this and go there and do that, and you feel me? I know how to forage for food. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too Hollywood. I can eat your thrown away piece of fucking Impossible Burger that you ain't finished, which is very impossible, because, niggas ain't throwing away no Impossible Burgers. Hey, niggas is finishing that. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, we live in a time of soil and green, and we gotta do a whole show on parasites.
No, we do.
Separately.
Because people are asking about the detox in the chat, proper transitional detoxes.
Yeah, it's nothing that I can sit here.
We gotta do a show on how your thoughts aren't really you.
Your thoughts aren't really you.
Because a lot of people associate all their thoughts with who they really are.
It's not. Majority of thoughts are being controlled by parasites.
So yeah, all that ties in together.
Yeah, you're a host to your parasites. You're a host to your bacteria. You know what I'm saying? And it's 2 in the morning. I don't want to sound negative.
Do you still advocate the olive oil fast or detox, the olive oil detox? Because you had me go through that shit in 2014. So I'm just wondering if it's still good. 16 ounces.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil.
I use it to flush some kidney stones or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Excruciating. Excruciating. But I did it twice.
Shit.
But there's still, like I said, man, health is such a trick bag, man. There's so much to it. There's so many dimensions, man. Like, this is really a finite vehicle that's very delicate, and we bang a lot of this shit up, you know what I'm saying, in our everydays, and we expose our stuff to carcinogens and toxins, and we're not even mindful. Like, even that, people be thinking their thoughts are their own, and you know what I'm saying, they got fucking lead in the paint and shit like that. Like, you're not even in your right mind. You know what I mean? Right. Africans walking around here with yellow eyes and shit like that. Like, there's so many conditions of the body that speak to the fact that we're just not wholesome beings. We're not who we think we are. And Sabi said everybody's sick. And he said, I'm the sickest of them all. You feel me? So, at some point we could even get into that. You know what I'm saying? Like the healers and you know what I mean? The trick bag that goes along with that. You can't be healing people for too long and think that you ain't gonna be motherfucking sick. What's your detox period process?
You can't be digging into this information, researching, going in too deep without needing some kind of healing.
It's like an actor when they take a movie role, they end up absorbing that energy.
They become
the
Joker.
They become the character.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, they become the character.
How you gonna get out of character?
And that's some mental shit.
When you become that character. Yeah. When you that's your cloak that you wear.
Right.
All right. So
that's another interesting conversation.
It's a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff, but
Somebody said it's Queen of Fool's birthday. Shout out to
Queen of Fool. Yeah, a lot of powerful Leos.
You know what
I'm saying? Shout out to Queen of Fool. Peace, love, and light. Shout out to Baba Heru, Samars. I was with him earlier. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and his entire faculty, Studio of Patar. He made this amazing, immaculate piece that you see right here. Let me give y'all a close up.
See the drip. Yeah.
Put it down a little bit.
All right. See that drip. Come on, you gotta adjust your cameras. Okay.
Yeah, so, you know.
Shit look like it's icy right there.
Yeah, it look that icy, right? You see,
No, like got that drip.
So much to talk about, not enough time. But thank you for, you know, your attention. Thank you for taking this journey with us for these few hours. We could literally be here talking all night. Yeah. We will come back, and I think we need to form a panel to really have this health discussion. We need health specialists in the building, you know what I mean? Since the Breakfast Club wants to be the impromptu go-to center for health conversations, we need to formulate, you know what I'm saying, one of those panels and really get some people who know what the fuck they talking about, you know what I'm saying, in the building to really have a no-holds-barred conversation with the people about veganism, the pros and the cons. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm not advocating and upholding and cheerleading and pom-pomming for nothing without telling you the pluses and the minuses of that shit. You dig what I'm saying? I do not think a vegan lifestyle is for everybody, okay? And I'm gonna echo the sentiments of my mother. I would really evaluate if you lived in a city like New York City thinking that veganism is all the way to think for you. Like this might not be, you might not really be in an environment that's conducive to that lifestyle. You dig what I'm saying? You need to have some blood in your mouth in this environment. You understand?
Mama Pill said that?
I'm adding on what I'm adding on. But my mother said that New York City is not an ideal place for vegans and the energy and the attitude that goes along with veganism. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not somewhere for beating. Yeah, this is not a tree hugger paradise. Like, you gotta have a level of aggression. You gotta kill to eat every fucking day out here. And you can lose part of that by just eating plants all day.
With the money they charge for rent, shit. They got
you gotta drag something. You gotta drag something. Okay?
Dracula.
You gotta drag something.
Make that rent, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? You might need a little bit of them steroids in you to get up every day and drag something.
Bro, I went to Whole Foods yesterday.
Oh my God.
I got I had this turkey sandwich because I'm not a vegan. So I got this. I got a honey turkey sandwich from Whole Foods, and I got a watermelon. You know that?
Wait.
I got that watermelon drink that I think Beyonce invested in. Shit was $17, bro. They rung it up. I said, man, what the fuck? A drink in a sandwich?
Like, to me, it's a travesty that Whole Foods got in Harlem before Trader Joe's or Aldi.
Crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? If you out of town and you don't know what Aldi's is the parent company to Trader Joe's. If you live in a city where there's an Aldi's, go shop at Aldi's. You know what I'm saying? Go shop at Aldi's.
20-cent can of beans?
Yeah, for affordable, good food.
I remember.
And then you bump that up and go to Trader Joe's.
Facts.
And you get the medium grade. You dig what I'm saying? But if you're not making $80,000 or more a year, you don't have no business in Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell they brought that shit to Harlem the way that they did and why it's received by the, I don't know, if that shit snap cards or something? Because I see people shopping in Whole Foods that ain't got no business shopping in Whole Foods.
Yeah, they take cards.
I think they take cards.
Yeah, all Whole Foods take cards.
I'm just saying, like,
and Amazon cards.
You know, that's a very abrupt way to try to introduce somebody into a plant-based lifestyle, into healthy food and living, because, you know, that shit is GMO. And you know what I mean? They don't have the highest pedigree of food in Whole Foods to begin with. They cook their hot food, the hot plate food, all that shit is cooked in canola oil. You dig what I'm saying? So it's mad trap-offs when it comes to Whole Foods. The employees be boycotting Jeff Bezos and Amazon, because they don't pay their employees, right? The fucking employees that work at Whole Foods don't look like they eat Whole Foods.
They don't eat Whole Foods. I ask every single person at the register whenever I go there, do you eat this food?
Straight ratchets.
They got trannies and ratchets in Whole Foods.
Yes.
And I be like, do y'all partake in Whole Foods? They like, I eat soul food. I'm just here for the check.
Just here for the check.
I'm like, God damn, this is what y'all put in front of the world to represent your fucking brand?
So, Whole Foods is a facade. Like, if you're not going there for cosmetics or certain hard shit that you can't find other places, I would not recommend, that you go to Whole Foods to buy food. Go to a farmer's market.
That's right.
Find out where your local farmer's market, support your local farmers. Go to fucking Trader Joe's for other things that you need that are super high priced in Whole Foods, or find you a Aldi's.
On 2/5, they got the Indian fruit stand right outside of Whole Food. $4 for one banana. You go inside a Whole Food, $1 for one banana. He's right outside, killing them. And I'm like, I don't buy no fruits, no vegetables, nothing out of Whole Foods. I go to the outside fruit stand.
That shit is disrespectful.
Because the shit in Whole Foods tastes GMO, and the Indian fruit stand, it don't taste, I mean, it tastes like it's coming out of, some organic farms.
But
not India, but.
So we about to
wrap it up.
We about to wrap it up, family. It's 2:40 right now. We want to thank everybody for staying in the chat room with us.
We deep up in here.
Shout out to y'all.
Almost 600.
We back with that Tough Talk Tuesday next Tuesday.
Yes, Blue will be back with Tough Talk Tuesday.
Yeah, the hottest show on the tube. Melanin Mondays, Third Eye Thursdays. Talk black to me. Shout out, Empress B44. Shout out to all of the family out there.
So y'all be live. You will be live this Thursday then. All right, so Red will be live this Thursday, and Blue's supposed to come this Thursday, man. I don't know. Is Blue coming to do this 44? Blue said he went to work. So I don't know what that means.
I know what I add. I know what I promised to the Black Magic 363 family.
Patreon family.
19 Keys is on his way up here next week, so he can,
That's something else with Keys.
He gonna get something done for the family, the Patreon family as well. He wanted me to let y'all know that, and I appreciate y'all.
I think I was the first person in New York with the crown. I just wanted to add that. I don't even know if Keys realized that. I was the first person in New York with the crown.
Was. You ordered
the video?
The first Black Magic. First person
video,
with the crown. Everybody was like, yo, where you got that from? Keys don't even know that. I gotta tell Keys when he come in, nigga, I was the first one in New York with your crown.
Market up,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen the potential in Keys back then. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. But that's that Harlem in me. So I want to give a shout out to the blood that runs in me from Harlem that makes me the fly guy that I am.
Shout out to Dave Dash Studios over here. This nigga, Duskington Popperton over here.
Dame Dan Studios, right?
We having fun here.
Dapper Dame
Dapper Stan. Yeah, shout out to Dapper Stan over here. You know what I mean? Trapper Dan.
Shout out to Harlem
shit.
So, stay tuned. Tough Talk Tuesdays, Melanin Mondays, Thursdays. Blue Pill will be in here soon.
New project coming,
Blue Pill got a secret project coming out. He got an all white. I don't even know what it is yet. He ain't tell me nothing, so shout out to all of us. Yeah. Listen, we get out here. We want to thank you. Make sure you support that album. Go to blackmagicmusic.com. Buy Holy Ghost 2. Make sure
y'all put number 5 on repeat.
Yeah, Last Breath. Should we close out with Last Breath?
Why not?
Of course.
You see, we closing out. We gonna close out. We gonna close out with Last Breath. Hold on, family.
The hottest requested. One of the tracks people love the
most.
Red
Dust Stove by Girls Bike. Red Dust Stove by Girls Bike.
Through gentrified Brooklyn.
Oh, man.
I'm going
Red Dust Stove by Girls Bike. Show the bike, man. Show the bike. You crashing the bike, man.
You got niggas be doing wheelies, the bike cruise.
You got Red Dust Stove.
Yeah, we doing,
Let me,
ride with me, y'all. We
I'm trying to find. Okay, here you go. Let me.
Riding out. We're not talking about.
Put this out. Let me put this right here.
I remember Agendas.
Hold up.
Full of busy bees working. I ain't never met a free person. I don't get along with these earthlings. I'm trying to seek purpose, fight for something I believe's worth it. Feel the curse, I'ma reverse it. I don't dream cause I sleep nervous. Yet I keep flirting, face death like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'ma drink thermos. Tell the bartender keep serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy when the weed burning. Traded oxygen to breathe herping. Till I see curtains, lungs fail and they cease working. Error something that I need urgent. Suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell, would I cry, would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a clash chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Map less, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
I let the record show, I let the tech explode. Put on the weapon show, pull up the Texaco, Narcos in Mexico, call up the technical, they know the text I blow. Shot I'm Plexico, turn you to vegetable, body electrical, acid and alkaline, body so flexible. The shooter's feast like a Uber Eats. Got a group of these suited, these cooler bees. But letting the Uzi Aruga speak. An American God up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak. They following creeps, powers that be. Inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Been to the mountains, top towers and peaks. Flowers and sweets and showered our feet. The lightning and thunder, the shower to sleep. Shower the D's, this not a verse, this our receipts.
What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell, would I cry, would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Map less, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
Like a track finish, I attract women, they the bad women. I'ma splash in them, leave a bag with them. Then I raise seeds to be mad different. If I die now, I'm coming back in them. Cause they dad missing, but they cash dripping. Cause they royalty, so they brag different. Ain't no ass kissing, never had feelings. Seen a white victim and a black witness. Mac gripping on my last mission. Yak sipping, blowing blackism. Gat missing, he was lack slipping. Smack hit him, now we act different. Apparition, the bad vision. The Mac a chip him and crash the system. Uncle Tom, cause you that willing. Fuck the law, I'm going back to living. Astral prisms of black religions. Activisms of conversations. Sacrilegious, the palms of Satan. Black magicians, Babylon erasing. Raise our hands to the gods we praising. Hustling, the marathon we racing. Nipsey at the finish line, he waiting.
What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell, would I cry, would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Map less, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address.
I'm like, whoa.
Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
Yeah. Word up. So that's For those who have heard that, that's Last Breath. From
Track
Holy
5.
Ghost 2 album, track number 5, featuring Red and Blue Pill.
That's that heat
Classic
right there.
Song. Definitely gonna make
The
a video to that
gonna come
joint.
for that.
You know what I'm saying? That
Dig
is
what
a
I'm
classic.
saying?
That's something that's gonna be played 7 years from now. Somebody gonna pull it up. Last Breath, a dope concept, amazing lyrics, amazing beat, amazing hook, amazing pre-hook Cambatta did. I mean, it was just
It's just amazing.
it's just amazing. So I want to thank Red and Blue for being on board with this project, you know, and coming through on a late night tip. Both of them was busy, but they came through. They made sure they was a part of the album, and I definitely appreciate it. And
shout out to Loaded and Hollow for doing what they did. God tier bars, you know what I mean? We were privy enough to see them brothers in that magical element when they were cooking up. And I already knew that it was gonna be magical. So, you know, that's for my battle rap fans. Shout out to Luck, shout out to Hollow, God. What is that? Instead of gun titles, God titles. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
any closing? That's it. We good?
Yeah, we good. Sunday.
Peace, y'all.
White Supremacy Decoded Into Deep Part 2. We're gonna be on Zoom. We'll have the link for the family. Pull up. If y'all saw Into Deep that I just did about a month ago, you already know so many things have already come to prophecy in the news. You seeing it all show them. We lifting the veil back, so we right back at them. This time we're gonna decode the shit that keeps people up at night, what they call white supremacy. We're gonna pull their pants down and show you they got, you know, envy issues and things of that nature. All right? Peace and love.